everybody, PlanetWalls here. We are back for round one against Bazaar of Baghdad. Not the card, but the man whose name is that card name. Anyway, this is the deck we're going to be playing. You can watch the previous video. Hang on, I'm working this out. 1 second. Okay, hopefully got everything taken care of there. Just needed to work out the details of setting up the match. This is the deck I'll be playing. You can see the previous video in the series to hear me talk about it and why I chose it and what it does. I'm going to show you my opponent's deck now, which is right here. So I think this is a really rough matchup on me for reasons that I explained at the end of the previous video. Essentially, he's playing a combo deck that's trying to win through the same way I do, only my Rest in Peace combo win condition allows him to win con through Helm of Obedience on me immediately, too. So that's bad. And he has ley lines. He also has a number of other ways to win, including a Blightsteel through Tinker, or he can get me in a Crucible lock with Strip Mine. His lands produce primarily artifact mana. He's got a Pact of Negation, a bunch of Mental Missteps, no Force of Wills, but a lot of tutors. So our Meddling Mages, I think, are really important, but we're going to have to play very carefully with them and get lucky a little bit. Because he could tutor for a balance and have them die, for instance. So I'm going to have to play very carefully. I don't think I have a good shot of winning this one, but we're going to go for it. And I certainly have a lot of cards to board in. So here it is. And we are going to be playing with the deck that we're actually... there we go. And so we are getting started here. Montolia will be recording this. I think it's going to be a slaughter, a pretty one-sided slaughter. It might happen very quickly. He's going to be recording it for Clan Magic Eternal, so that'll probably be on his YouTube channel, on Clan Magic Eternal's YouTube channel. So be sure to check it out here. This hand is actually horrible because none of these cards really interact with him, except Rest in Peace, which is part of the combo. But Energy Field and Rest in Peace does not do anything against him except prevent Blightsteel Colossus from killing me. And Rest in Peace actually sets him up for the combo, so I'm definitely going to mull this. Oh, God. So we have another pair of Rest in Pieces, which don't do very much. Here we have a Meddling Mage, and this Porcelain Legionnaire Mist Hollow also don't do anything. So we're going to mull again. And now we have no lands or Chrome Mox. This hand is a lot more interactive. Would there be lands in it? I'm mulling again. And again, no lands. So I'm not playing that few. I could work with some Chrome Mox and stuff. This hand is like our first hand or our second hand, but just with no lands in it. Well, that's better. So, yeah. I'd go so far as to say this isn't going to go very well. I could actually drop this and exile the Chrome Mox. I don't think that's right. He started with his full hand, too. So, having no cards in our hand that do anything, I guess we should have kept that first hand compared to this one, though. I think mulling it was right, especially since so many card slots were dedicated to things that don't do anything. I didn't even have... I guess this is his deck, but I didn't even have a Brainstorm or a Preordain in it, or any other way to get more interesting cards. So I think that mulling it was the correct decision. Having this hand is pretty sad, though. Alright. Well, I guess I might as well drop the Mist Hollow Griffin. Just so you know, when you cast the Mist Hollow Griffin off a Chrome Mox, I should have played this Gemstone in case he Wastelands. Or Strip Mines. When you play it off this, the Chrome Mox no longer becomes useful. So let's see what he finds here. Okay, so he's going to ramp up. Probably, I imagine he's going to be extremely aggressive here because I only have one card in hand. I probably should have. I mean, I could have kept both these cards in hand. Mist Hollow could be used to with a Force of Will. He might just kill me right now. So once he activates it, I'm going to concede. Okay, so that was a short game one. The old Molda 3. We're going to be on the play here. Annuls are coming in. The Magi are coming in. This is highly questionable to me. I don't think it does very much. Powder Kegs are coming in. I think we bring in Grafdigger's Cage because it's better than a lot of the cards in our deck. Energy Fields are leaving. I think I go down to 1 Rest in Peace. I do not think I win through the combo against him. I could be wrong about that. Maybe it's right to try and assemble the combo, but I think I play for creature kill and assume that he's bringing in Terminus. And just let him try to do this combo thing on his own. So cutting the energy field seems right to me. I probably should cut at least one of the helms. I don't think that's how I'm going to win this matchup. Question here is, do I just cut this other Helm of Obedience and use Rest in Peace to deal with the Crucible issue? Like, it's really hard to get this combo off. I think I have to win through other reasons, essentially. None of which are extremely strong. Yeah, so let's go ahead and cut this. We brought in Powder Kegs. They're fine against his artifacts. Porcelain Legionnaire is pretty bad. I actually wonder if Helm of Obedience is better than this. This is at least a clock, I guess. But I wonder if bringing in a blue card is okay, because I can pitch it to Force of Will or Chrome Mox. Yeah, you know you're in a bad matchup when you're making decisions like that. We're keeping the quote-unquote win con in with Porcelain Legionnaire. Yeah, and you bet we're playing first. Okay, so this is not horrible, though I certainly don't feel like it's good. We're going to hope to draw another land. I think I'm going to try and drop the turn 1 Grafdigger's Cage just to prevent the Tinker situation. Seems like there's no reason to avoid that. We also have to worry about Time Vault, which I forgot about. Though Magus, I guess, helps us get out of that. Yeah. So he's probably thinking about whether he wants to... He's got the Serum Powders that he can choose to change his hand a bit. Those, if he uses one of those, it helps us a little bit with Meddling Mage, because we might not have to name something in particular. Like, one of the things I wonder is if he's really struggling to decide what sort of decision to make, if it means that one of his one-of cards is in his hand. And so if he keeps, then we might be able to make some kind of inference about what he has in hand. It will be pretty sad, though, if he pitches a hand with Serum Powder that has a Blightsteel Colossus in it, because this Grafdigger's Cage becomes totally useless. I think I would just let it sit in my hand. Yeah. Okay, so he's still deciding. I'm going to go ahead and pause it until he comes back. Okay, he chose to mulligan down to 6, and now he's deciding whether to mulligan again. And he's keeping it, it looks like. And a ley line's coming down. We have some flexibility this game, at least. Whether or not I want to first pitch a Meddling Mage or a Mental Misstep to Force of Will if I need to use it is a serious question for me. Because Meddling Mage, I think, is really strong in this matchup. Yeah. Okay. So he made his decision. He's got 5 in hand. Tinker is still a possibility, so I'm dropping Grafdigger's Cage. If he counters it, it means that he's got Tinker in his hand. But, yeah. looks like that was not the case. Um, like, here's a question. Do I get rid of that? I think I have to, because he could just drop his win con and win right now. Maybe he's thinking about pacting this. Pact of Negation? Because if that works, then he can, in theory, just win. I mean, I have another counterspell, but my guess is that that's what's going on. So I think he has a Pact of Negation in his hand, and he's considering whether or not to use it. The good thing about his deck, though, is that he could have a lot of crap in his hand that's not very good, like Serum Powder or like a random Time Vault or something. One thing that's good about playing the Grafdigger's Cage is also that it eliminates a card from our hand, which makes Balance potentially less powerful for him if he ever wants to cast that. Definitely wish I had Wastelands for this matchup. He's got 2 Scrublands, Swamp, Underground Sea, and that's like all of his colored mana sources. It would be pretty nice to just remove those. What happened? Okay, so he just let that happen. All right. We drew a card that's totally... Actually, I guess it's fine here, because it'll just get pitched to Force. And we're going to name his remaining combo piece and pass the turn. Always anxious I'm going to do that wrong. And he plays nothing. So that's really good for us. And hopefully we draw another land soon. He doesn't have any colored mana, which is also good, and I have counter backup. So there's Balance, there's Dismember. I'm not exactly sure if I should play the other Meddling Mage right now. I think speeding up the clock is incredibly important. There's also Terminus, which I could name. So the cards, basically I've already named Tinker as a card because of the Grafdigger's Cage. And I do think he has a Pact of Negation. But I'm not sure to what extent. I think that, is there anything that could just kill me right now? He didn't play a land last turn, so I'm not really worried about Crucible at the moment. I could name just Dismember. I mean, it's also possibly just boarded it out. I could also hold on to the Meddling Mage. That just seems wrong to me. Like, maybe naming Helm of Obedience for the other one is right, too. And then I just got that. I mean, then he could still balance, and that would be horrible. Yeah, he's got to play 2 more mana sources for balance to be a problem, though. So this is actually a puzzle for me. I don't quite know what to do here. You could Tinker still into... I guess Tinker still can find a Time Vault or something. And you could play a key in a Time Vault in the same turn. I don't know. I actually just don't know what to do here. What I might do is name Enlightened Tutor, and then that gives him a lot less flexibility, I guess, to find a lot of these little combo pieces. Doesn't seem very strong to me, and he could still balance or Terminus, but I think I have to take those risks. So here goes nothing. We'll try this. Then again, I've got a lot of Enlightened Tutors too, though they also don't do very much right now. And he would have cast that Crucible, I think. Yeah, balance still scares me. A lot of these tutors that he has scare me. Um, I think naming Dismember is probably just better than naming another Helm, because then it gives him less flexibility with the Helm, or less flexibility with Dismember. And he can cast that for colorless as opposed to white. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. What's happening? Okay, never mind. It wouldn't let me use the keyboard anymore. Now I just don't want to click on the wrong thing. There we go. So I don't feel very good about that. Maybe I should name Mental Misstep. I don't know. Passing the turn, though. Okay, well, here's our chance at this game, right? Getting in there with these guys. I have to keep the Swords to Plowshares in the deck because my deck is so bad right now. So, yeah, everything is horrible. We're going to do this. Land and land. Well, the Caracas is definitely bad, I think. I don't know if we want any of those. I guess one land would give us a Detention Sphere option. So maybe that's a good idea. In case he casts an artifact next turn. But we might draw another land soon anyway. Yeah, so this is going on the bottom, but do I want to draw this or not? That is the question. I actually think I don't. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. At least I didn't draw multiple lands in a row there. I'm going to play it in case he wastelands me, and then I could still rip a land off the top and Detention Sphere. What is happening? So this would be a Metamorph. That's funny, because if I Detention Sphere, I just take all of them. So this definitely slows down my clock, but I think that... Is that okay? I don't think I can afford to blow my counterspell here. Actually, he probably names Force of Will with this, and I can't Detention Sphere this thing, which is hilarious. Thing is, I could cast a Mist Hollow-Griffin soon and just walk over all this stuff. God, balance would be so horrible. He's definitely not going to name Grafdigger's Cage with that. I'm not worried about his combo immediately, because I can hit the ley line with Detention Sphere. I'm just not sure if I even want to do that. But I think I might have to. Yeah, we're going to counter this. If I hit Leyline with a Detention Sphere, that prevents him from being able to combo as easily. But he can't do that right now anyway. So I think what I'd rather do is play the Mist Hollow-Griffin. And just try to win this game very quickly. If I'd known I was going to draw another land, I probably... Would I have forced that? Actually, I probably would have, given that... So this changed my clock significantly. Because he's at 8. Puts him at 1. It means he can't use a fetch for a turn, and that's actually really good. So I have to play this. So maybe, I mean, he would have to try and fight through a Force of Will this turn anyway. So I think that I had to make that decision. Um, because bluffing Force of Will wouldn't have done anything because he has to presume I don't have a Force of Will in order to win as quickly as he's going to win. What this does is it prevents him from using a fetch land right now. Okay, we took the game. That was stressful. Okay, so we're moving on to game 3. And what card did I decide was horrible? Swords to Plowshares is pretty bad. It is pretty bad. Like maybe, is Misdirection better, maybe? Misdirection really doesn't do much. Maybe only counters a Pact of Negation. Seems horrible. Like maybe a 1 of Helm is okay to put in here. These Needlebugs seem bad. Yeah, this is really horrible. I don't know. Like, everything in my deck is so bad that, I mean, the Swords is horrible. At least it deals with Blightsteel, but I've got so much redundancy in the Blightsteel front that, I mean, Misdirection can't counter by itself Mental Misstep because you have to redirect the card to Misdirection, and Mental Misstep has to target a spell with converted mana cost 1. It's possible that we get into a Mental Misstep fight, and redirecting it would be advantageous for that reason, so maybe making that decision is good. Is like a 1 of. Yeah, I'm going to go with that, but again, doesn't seem good. Okay, and we just have to hope that he doesn't go off right away, and then we can Magus lock him down. We can lock down his mana sources. I mean, this hand isn't very strong, but turn 1 I can at least get a Magus down. I think I'm going to keep this. I think. Then the question is, do I lead off with Powder Keg? Like, he could just win right now. Nope, but he doesn't have the ley line in play. So maybe he'll cast some like mana ramp, and I'll just be able to blow the Powder Keg for something. Okay, Defense Grid. That's certainly irritating. Okay, that wasn't the best draw. I could thin out our deck of lands a little bit with this, but I actually don't think that's very strong because I might draw Brainstorm. Question is, do I play Powder Keg or Magus here? And he wants to protect something, so he doesn't yet have a single combo piece out. Like, he could Blightsteel on his turn, and then I would look pretty dumb for having played a Powder Keg. So I think that's what I do here. And then this eliminates the Blightsteel concern. And I guess it lets me take this during my turn, maybe? Because right now, he doesn't seem to obviously be on the Leyline Helm plan. I mean, he could still do that. I just think it's very difficult for him to cast a Leyline. Though it's easier for him to cast a Rest in Peace. Yeah, I think the Magus is disruptive at least enough. What is this? Oh, okay, yeah. That's fine. Just PRE advertisement, which is okay. Are you guys excited? I'm excited still. Pretty cool that we had this Gemstone Cavern maybe work. Really wish there were a Mist Hollow on it. Or Mist Hollow down here, I should say. What is this? Okay, so he's finding colored mana. That's no good. This is Verdant Catacomb, so we can find a scrubland or... Okay. So we could cast a Rest in Peace right now, which would make everything a whole lot scarier. And I have to hold 3 mana up to bluff a Force of Will. So if he has his one of Rest in Peace, that's really bad for us. But I feel like maybe I still made the right decisions here in keeping this hand. Especially because he didn't... Well, I guess I didn't know that at the time, but the fact that he didn't lead off with a ley line limits the sorts of plays he can make right now. He could play a Crucible or something, and then he gets his Verdant Catacombs back, and then he can hardcast a ley line. That's a possibility. I have to always make this decision about what to do with this Magus, though. Like whether to attack and keep mana up, or attack and not keep mana up, or otherwise. Like, also, do I play the Powder Keg on my turn? Because it disrupts these sorts of cards down here, and maybe these soon enough. Especially the Rest in Peace might be relevant, but and the Time Vault, but it doesn't do anything right now, and I might need to keep this mana up. Well, keeping it up implies that I have to do something on the turn that it comes into play. My wife's talking to herself, don't worry.
I'm watching Game of Thrones.
She's watching Game of Thrones. Okay, so he's just going to take the Powder Keg and make this decision for me. It also reveals that my hand sucks, which is unfortunate. So playing a second Magus seems wrong because of the possibility of balance. And we just drew a card that... I mean, he has to know we drew something if I pass the turn with 3 mana open to be able to mental misstep something. Like, the question is, am I going to need to take something on this turn? Like a Voltaic Key. I'm not sure that I do. I'm getting in there. And let's go ahead and play this Tundra. So I've got 1 unknown for him, the mental misstep. And I'm playing like I have a Force or a misstep. Because I didn't cast the Magus. I mean, I guess this doubles the clock. Maybe I should have cast this here. Yeah, actually, I'm starting to think that maybe I should have just dropped the Magus and had a turn where I didn't have misstep open. And now there's going to be this awkward turn next turn where he's at an odd life total and I can't deal damage. So maybe I should have taken the risk this turn and played the Magus. Because I think he's got a... Ooh. What is this, during his upkeep? Yeah, how about we not let that resolve? Though I have a feeling that... he's going to misstep our misstep here. We're playing with a guy who's been, at the very least, a really good sport. What is happening? Is it still his upkeep? Okay, that's just what happened. I thought I'd skipped an entire one of my turns for a second. But everything's still untapped, or still tapped, so... some players would have been upset, is what I'm trying to get at, because I'd drawn a card that could counter his tutor on that turn, but he seemed to take it with good humor, as it were. I would still say the advantage is him because of how many cards he could draw in this matchup, especially with the mana to play them. Yeah, and now he can hardcast a ley line, which is hard to deal with. So he looks for an Underground Sea. I imagine. I guess it's only in there for misstep or sideboard cards or Tinker. Then again, Tinker is not really a threat right now. We play a Meddling Mage, and I wonder what I should be doing. Maybe I name Balance. I don't know what to do here, actually. I could also just name Helm, but I don't think he has the tools to use that to good effect right now. Yeah, this is the problem playing against him with the cards that are currently out. I guess Balance is the biggest threat. You just look for an Underground Sea. But it accelerates my clock so much. So, like, keeping this out is a possible option. Though I don't think I have to be worried about him milling me on his turn. I don't think that. So putting him at 14 and playing the Meddling Mage naming Balance might be the way to go. And then not casting the Magus, which he knows is in my hand. Like at this point, I'm more worried about. So maybe on his turn he casts a Leyline. Like maybe what I do is I name Leyline instead of Mask of Obedience, because I think that's what he's got. I just want to get this down this turn to be able to do some damage with it. But then he just Enlightened Tutored for something, meaning he was looking for something, and I don't know what that was. Yeah, this is hard. Yeah, and this Underground Sea can Vampiric Tutor for him, even. There's just a lot of tough decisions. I think okay, so this is what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to cast the Meddling Mage and name. God, I almost want to name Balance. Because it deals with everything so effectively. And then. Because can he play Time Vault? I mean, this would be the other question. Can he play Time Vault and Voltaic Key and use it in the same turn? Yeah, he's got enough mana to do that. He would have to have both of them in his hand, and he was trying to Enlighten Tutor a couple turns ago, so I don't think he has all those combo pieces. So I think I'm kind of safe in that regard and don't need to keep the Magus untapped this turn, though I probably will next turn. So I think what I do is I attack and play a Meddling Mage. Maybe I just play another Magus? That seems horrible. And then we'd just be playing off the top of the deck if he's balancing, because I'd have 0 cards in hand. But maybe it's just foolish to not name one of his main combo wins, like his combo pieces. He was looking for another land. This is hard. I don't think I can afford to get balanced. And then the question is, do I play another one of these or do I keep it in hand, either in case of balance or because then I can deal damage to him much more quickly, or because I can draw a Force of Will. I'm actually going to make what I think is... This is 3. How many turns are these guys killing him? As opposed to 2, 2 would be 7 turns, and 3 damage is 5, and maybe with 4 on the last attack. This is swing for 3, keep 1 Magus back, swing for 3, keep 1 Magus back, swing for 3, and it's still going to be the same number if I keep 1 back. I'm doing it. So we have no cards in hand. We are completely open here. He didn't do anything EOT, nor during his upkeep. So hopefully he doesn't just have both combo pieces in his hand, which is totally possible, but I guess I just feel like it's unlikely given he didn't play anything there. And we have a Swords, which sucks. So we have 1 unknown card. And the question is, how many of these guys do I attack with at this point? So I could go 4 this turn, then 3, 3, 4. And I think that might be optimal. He's got so much mana available. He could have done something that turn if he was going to do it. I think I have to do this now. So we go 4, 3, 3, 4. And that's better than... Maybe he's just going to dismember the Meddling Mage. Though it would cost... Yeah, he wouldn't have been able to... He would have to pay Ancient Tomb life. Yeah, maybe because of Ancient Tomb I shouldn't have attacked all 3 and should have kept a Magus back. Like, I could lose to some kind of Vault Key combo this turn. Oh, there's so many options. The reason that I am not excellent at this game has very little to do with me not being able to see all the options that are laid out in front of me. It has more to do with me being extremely nervous about what options there are. Okay, Powder Keg. So this would put him at 6. And then dead. I don't think he needs this Ancient Tomb anymore, really. So do I attack with everything, or just 2 guys here? Played another Mishra's Workshop, so I take it he didn't draw anything relevant. But maybe I need... So he goes to 7. Then he goes to 3 or 4. Basically, it means he can't use Ancient Tomb on his turn if I attack with all these things. But he's got so much mana here anyway. But he needs this to cast a Ley Line. Still have to worry about Vault Key. I'm getting in there with everything. So maybe I should have waited 1 more turn because I knew I had a Powder Keg, and then I could put it on 1-drops to deal with the key. So I think he has to do something this turn and win this turn, essentially. Okay, so that's 1 more mana. That's it. Yes, we're going to put a fuse counter on this. And that makes me feel a lot better. So I'm not worried about his Ancient Tomb getting tapped at this point. I don't think. He could still have a Dismember. But because of defense grid, it costs an awful lot. I think I keep... I mean, gain control of his serum powder, that doesn't do me any good during his turn. Now that I've got an annul, I think I attack with all this stuff. I think. Using the annul keeps me from... God, this is rough. Yeah, I don't want to give him the opportunity to Vampiric Tutor or something this turn either, because he can't use the shop for that, and he has to pay 3. I mean, I guess he could use the Serum Powder now. Okay, so he's at 2. Is he going to Vampiric Tutor here? No. So here we go. I can counter an artifact or enchantment. We see another land, which he can use. Oh, that's too bad. So it looks like he was flooded. But I certainly was nervous. Looks like we took it, surprisingly. So thanks everybody for watching. Feel free to leave some comments.